one of the big things, and I asked Brett if he wanted to kind of mention a couple of things here because he talks frequently about moving from labor to leadership. One of the things that's going to happen now that you're a behavior consultant or you're moving in that direction is that you're going to be doing more leadership. You're going to be doing less in terms of working directly with the learners, and you're going to be doing more in terms of telling people what to do and having difficult conversations with people. And it could be a shift in the way you're thinking and the way you're behaving. Has anybody at the table seen a difference so far, or in terms of, wow, I was working directly with the learners and now I'm already noticing I'm having to have a different type of conversation? You want to talk about that, and then maybe give you guys some tips. Kristen?
Well, I'm actually still an RBT at the school I'm at now, so then I go to my cases and it's a totally different role. Yeah, so I'm adjusting, learning how to switch that from the labor to guiding people.
Right.
So I'm going through that. I'm learning how to shift that role because I'm usually like always directly with the client. So it's a little different for me.
But I must have to comment on that just when we talk about labor to leadership, there's nothing more important than you staying sharp and modeling stuff for people.
That's right.
So just because we use a fancy term like moving from labor to leadership doesn't mean you don't just get down and dirty with a learner and then showing a BC, a RBT or a CA how to do it, like just being like hands-on, because the amount that you're hands-on and the people that follow you, them following your lead is directly proportionate to the respect they have that you're willing to do it.
Right.
So great point. So that's a great point, Brett. So when we talk about leadership, we just mean in addition to your labor, not that you're, oh, I'm hands off now, I got my cert, I'm never going to work with another learner. That's not what we mean. It just means you have more responsibility now. Joe is frequently working with learners. I am. We both came from schools today, so it's just more stuff. It's an addition to. So great point.
I think I've found that the hardest challenge for me has been taking that step back and allowing the CAs to do a lot of the work. Like I'll be in there modeling it and I'll see something and I just want to jump in, but I gotta know that it's time to let them expand and get in there and do it themselves. So coaching from the outside has been a challenge for me to sit back.
Yeah, but you know that if you don't sit back, you're just enabling someone to be dependent on you.
Yes,
right.
Whether it's the learner or the staff. Like your success in training a teacher or a clinical associate is also directly proportionate to how much you systematically fade doing it. Absolutely. And allowing them to do it and coaching them.
I think it's the hardest part, I think, when you've just gotten that new position, you're in that limbo stage, and it might be even more difficult if you were a clinical associate or clinical coordinator on that case and you're now the behavior consultant. It might even be an additional challenge for you to seem like the leader, but that probably is the most important thing, is now I'm in charge. I forgot who emailed me. Might have been you, Deb, as part of their email saying, well, now I'm in charge of all this. Whereas before I was a part of the team, now I'm in charge of the team, and it's a little bit of a different way of thinking. So modeling things for your folks is important. We'll talk about mentorship in the next slide. We recently had a leadership meeting here maybe about a month ago, and we talked about different levels of leadership, and one of the important things is still modeling things for folks, not just coming in as a leader and telling people what to do and then leaving. That's a quick way to have people lose respect for you. You can't just say, hey, I was a CA, so now I'm a BC, and I don't have to do stuff anymore. It's almost as important to still be doing this stuff so they know that you've got their back. That's where that trust is built. So if you're having a difficult time, though, this is, the three of us are here to coach you through that. You might be in different places in terms of how to give feedback to people, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. If that's an area of struggle for you, reach out to your mentor. So it sounds like you have a good mentor. I know who your mentor is. So reach out to those folks. But if you're having a hard time giving people feedback, or how do I grow from that position of doing to telling or coaching, please, we're here for you.
Just like in the interview where we said we're responsible for your success early off, same thing now. If you're in a new role, if you're not 100% succeeding in every aspect, then it's going to be our fault.
Right.
It's kind of nice to know you're not responsible for your behavior. No. I mean, literally, like, especially in the early stages, all you got to do is show up and show effort. If there's something that goes wrong, just know that it's somehow, just with the whole philosophy, behavioral philosophy that we have, something we may not have set up the right contingency or coached you on. It's on us. Now, as time goes on, that slowly shifts to you being that way with other people.
Right.
Like all of a sudden, you're accountable for someone's performance, and more accountable for your performance. Because when you have knowledge, tools, goals, and information like that, knowledge is power, and then you're responsible for the success of the people that you're leading. So what happens is people, as long as someone shows up and tries really, really hard and tries to respond to feedback, is really all we care about. Literally.
I think the responsibility aspect of things is key. Like, you're given a title and a rank, right, within the organization now. It changes because you were maybe a CC and whatever the case is, you might just, maybe were a CA. And now you have that title, whether it's, BC, you have the certification, but with that comes the responsibility that there are more people in your care, that you're responsible for. And the presence is more important now than it ever was, even when you're directly working, because like I think, what Brett and Pierre were saying as well is, people are going to follow you if they feel like you're present and you understand what's going on. It's like parenting through a text. Like I've said this before, like I don't parent my kids through text messages. Like I'm there to show and model and be a good father.